gamers. Today there is a new PUP update. So as you guys know, the PUP is still going on. I think they extended it for like a week extra. And the new patch is coming, I think in 4 weeks. I'm not really sure the exact dates. There's some changes to the already existing PUP changes. So obviously there was a big patch, the notes I went through. These are the extra changes, all right? So let's get into it. Let me zoom in for all the boomers out there. I know you guys are, you know, wearing glasses like me. So fixed a few crash and stability issues that were occurring in rare instances. Okay. Lightweight beams. Cost increased from 100 wood, 225 gold to 300 wood, 400 gold. Is this the RAM upgrade? I think it is. I mean, I think this is fine. Like, this makes fucking RAMs go on steroid mode, basically. So I think it's okay that the cost is increased. And Mongol improved lightweight beams. Stone cost increased from 325 to 700. That's a steep increase, though. That's a double increase. All right. I mean, it makes sense. This is also increased by pretty much double, or actually even more, in resource. I think that's fine. I'm not too bothered. Time increased from 45 to 60. Again, RAMs are pretty monk in Imperial, so I think that's fine. Delhi Sultanate research time increased. Okay, for the same upgrade. All right. Outpost. Now, this is a big one. Outpost landmarks. Barbican of the Sun, Gremlin, Saharan Trade Network cannot be built within 8 tiles of enemy landmark town centers. I personally don't care about this. Barbican rushes at the top level are not a strategy. It's non-existent. But a lot of people were complaining about this in low leagues. So if that helps them, great. I personally don't care too much. So if it's good for the, you know, for the lower leagues, great. For the, you know, 5 people out there, Barbican rushing sucks for you. So yeah, this is me defending the Barbican rush. This was in a tournament. Chinese player comes with the Barbican rush. Tries to build a tower so he can put a Barbican, you know, destroy that. Got a prelate. Amazing. Barbican rushing is really hard. I mean, defending it. So, brr, brr, brr. Brr, brr, brr. All the villagers are dead. And, yep. Barbican rushing. So, at the top level, this is not an issue because people, you know, use scouts very well. And if you see villagers moving across the map, you can literally pull all your villagers, kill theirs, and that's it. You won the game. So, and that Barbican is like 6-7 tiles away, barely impacted. Right. Well, if someone puts a Barbican under your TC, you can literally put villagers in your TC and it will mow down all the villagers from the enemy. But yeah, again, if it's a good change for low leagues, thumbs up. I don't care too much. So, amazing. Civ specific changes. Gulam. Train time increased from 22.5 seconds to 26. Now deals 15 damage on charge attack. Wait, how much was it dealing? You cannot kill English villagers like that. Well, English doesn't have a Barbican, you pepega. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the base damage was for Gulam. So I don't know if this is a buff or this is a nerf. Chinese. Additional bearers technology now gives 1 additional rocket to Nestabis instead of 2. Increased cost from 150 wood, 350 gold to 200, 500. Now, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I gave devs this feedback to this, and every pro player gave feedback to this. I don't understand why Nestabis is getting buffed for Chinese. Chinese is the best late game civ by far, I think. Not even close. Especially since the enclosure nerf for English. Nestabis, in my opinion, is way better than Mangonos. So I don't understand why they're getting buffed. It's very confusing. So after me balding about it, not balding, it's like, okay, they're getting buffed. They're already really good. So instead of giving 2 rockets, they're gonna get 1 rocket. So I guess it's a nerf, or it's a change, but it's still a buff to what it was. I don't know why they're buffing Nestabis, I'll be honest. Reverted +2 melee damage, increase in fire lancers. Oh, okay. So what they did in the previous, so in the big patch, the fire lancers got torch damage reduced and melee damage increased. I'm assuming to match the other horseman cavalry. But I guess they reverted +2 damage on the melee attacks. So I think that's good. I don't think Fire Lancers should be good fighting unit and raiding unit. That'd be crazy. Palace Guard increased from 100 food 20 gold to 100 food 25 gold. Now, I would have loved. So my suggestion for this was to be 30 gold. I think that Palace Guards are batshit insane units in the late game. Once you reach a point with China with like 50 workers on food, 55 with granaries, you can basically spam Palace Guards even with no gold, because the taxes that the producing Palace Guard gives you is like, I don't know the exact number, but it's like 12 gold or something. Maybe it's even more actually. So if you get 12 gold by making the Palace Guard only costs 8 gold, okay? And if you make a Spearman gives like 8 gold, I think, when you make it. Something like that. I don't know the exact numbers. So it's like you can make Spearman Palace Guard and you basically get a free Palace Guard, right? So you can just spam them and they're so fucking strong. And I was like, units give 4 gold baseline? Okay, maybe within the influence then it would give 8, right? So that means that Palace Guard in current state costs 12 gold. Because if you make a Palace Guard, you get 8 back if it's in the influence of the thing. Which is crazy. Because they're so strong. They beat so many units in the late game. So my suggestion was actually Palace Guards costing 100 food 30 gold. But I guess they went in between with 25. This is a nerf. And it's a nerf to spamming Palace Guards. But I don't know if it's enough. Another problem with Palace Guards is the water maps. I've had a few games where I was playing China or I was playing against China on 4 lakes. And you can literally just spam Palace Guards and just kill everything. Because they basically cost only food. So you put villagers on gold on water maps or hybrid maps. And then the fishing does all the food and you just spam like fucking batshit insane amounts of Palace Guards. And they run around super fast and just mow down everything. So I think it's good that they're getting nerfed, but I think it should be a bit more, in my opinion, but any nerf is nerf, you know. Now this is an interesting one. Delhi Sultanate. Ghazi Raiders train time increased from 25.5 to 25 seconds. Tower Victory landmark attack speed reduced to 15%. Sanctity technology gold income bonus reverted from 50 to 25% gold income bonus. Sanctity can create very binary games where the Delhi player has 3 sacred sites and a gigantic advantage, or no sacred site and is far behind. We reduced this delta in power and gave them the Ghazi Raider to create a more balanced power curve in the feudal age. So there's been a lot of discussion since forever about Delhi, because Delhi is like you either completely obliterate someone or the game is just like you're just dead kind of thing. So I think that this is the right step in the move to make Delhi more playable Civ across all Civs, across all stages. I think Delhi needs a lot more. I think Delhi needs something in Imperial. I think Delhi needs Culverin. Like, straight up. Delhi needs Culverin badly. And Dome of Faith, I think, needs a buff some kind, because I think it's a pretty bad landmark. You almost always go Tower Victory. Even if the attack speed is 15%, you will still go Tower Victory. I don't mind this approach where it's like, okay, they will get less gold, but they get more powerful horsemen, aka Ghazi Raiders. I think that's fine. But I hope that future changes for Delhi lead to more balanced Delhi across ages. And maybe one day we'll even see Delhi 2TC, you know? So, you think Delhi's dead with this? I mean, Ghazi Raiders are really good. I don't know if you know, but Ghazi Raiders, like 2 Ghazi Raiders will kill a knight. So, and also, if you guys didn't know, because Ghazi Raiders have higher damage, normal horseman takes 4 shots to kill an archer. Ghazi Raider takes 3. You might not think that's a big deal, but that's massive. Needing 1 less attack is a massive DPS increase or damage increase for your whole army when you're fighting in feudal or castle. and it's a massive DPS decrease for the enemy. Not to mention, they also obviously they have higher base damage, right? So they do more damage to spearmen. So yeah, spearmen will counter Ghazi Raiders, but Ghazi Raiders will also be able to kill spearmen a lot faster. There's also the case of men-at-arms will no longer be oppressive against Delhi. So HRE, I actually don't think it's going to be a bad matchup for Delhi at all. If anything, I would argue that that Delhi might even be a soft counter to HRE in the new patch. That's something we'll have to see. But in my head, I actually thought about this. In my head, if Delhi goes for Ghazi into 3 sacred sites and HRE rushes castle, what then? As HRE, you make men-at-arms or knights usually to take the map control. And Delhi will have like 10-15 Ghazi Raiders going around. And feudal Ghazi Raiders can trade with castle knights and men-at-arms, right? So I think that fixes one of the major problems. The fact that Ghazi Raiders will exist, I think that fixes one of the major problems for Delhi. There's still the problem of Delhi versus China, which I don't really know how... I mean, maybe this is going to help it. I don't know, but that is still a Monka matchup. I guess if China spams Palace Guards in Castle, you'll have the Horsemen. And at the same time, I don't know... I mean, I guess you can still go Knights, but I feel like Delhi might be like Ghazi Raiders and Archers into continuing Ghazi Raiders in Castle, mining no gold, just using Sacred Sun and Relic, and making Tower Elephants with it, or something like that. Or crossbows, or I don't know. Because I feel like Ghazi Raiders in Castle overlap with Knights quite a bit. Like, they are less tanky, yes, but they don't cost gold. But I think, like, another thing that helps, that this helps Delhi, by the way, Ghazi Raiders edition. I know I'm talking about Ghazi Raiders like it's just added, but I'm just talking more about it. Ghazi Raiders will enable Delhi to, like, go castle and have horsemen that are not useless, right? Because before, with Delhi, you reach castle and you got 10-20 horsemen, but you actually don't upgrade them. Because by the time you upgrade him, it's like, whatever, you already got knights. But now, it's actually going to be important for you to save the Ghazi Raiders, because they're going to be able to do bonus damage against armored. So they're still going to be pretty good. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I personally don't think this is the biggest deal, because you kind of always have shit ton of gold with Delhi anyway. Yeah. Like I said, I hope Delhi gets more changes towards Imperial, though, where... I honestly, if they just add culverins for Delhi, that would help so much. So much. English Abbey of Kings landmark. Now, this is one of the best buffs in this patch. Abbey of Kings, Crown of King, cost reduced from 120 to 100 gold, 100 food. King now heals himself with the aura. This thing right here, unironically, okay, not me making videos with English trading, unironically might make King viable, because you can potentially open with King plus like 5 horsemen. You don't need to do more. 5 horsemen and a King. You will have infinite harassment, because you will never need to send King back. Because now the way, if you open a King and horseman, you literally just need to, as the enemy, you just need to damage the King. Because if the King gets damaged, he needs to go back to Abbey of Memes. And if it goes back to Abbey of Memes, the horsemen can't raid on their own. I mean, they can, but like the King is basically a knight, so it does a lot of damage. But King being able to heal, it's not going to be overpowered or anything, but it will help a lot, I think, in making this viable. And 120 to 100 obviously is really good. It's basically like a cheaper knight, because right now on live, I think right now on live is 150, or it used to be 150, which was way too expensive. And Vanguard men-at-arms melee armor reduced from 3 to 2. This is the Dark Age men-at-arm, right? It goes Vanguard, early men-at-arm, and then men-at-arm, and yeah. I think this is fine, like, because English is so strong on the water maps. So they do get nerfed. What is the Spearman armor is 1, right? Yeah, Spearman has 1 melee armor, if I'm not mistaken. Or does it have 0 actually? No, I don't know. It has 0, okay. So basically, right now on hybrid maps, English just dominates any battles. Because you have 3 melee armor in Dark Age. So, they can just mow down the spearmen. Like, even if you have 3 spearmen, 1 men at arm is gonna beat them. Because the spearmen do very little damage to it. So now, men at arm are still gonna probably be number for number. They're gonna be the best. But you will be able to beat them with a larger amount of spearmen, which I'm assuming would probably be same cost. You will be able to beat out on the men at arm, which I think is good change, to be honest. Men at arm are more expensive, but I think it's a good change. Malian. Fort of the Huntress landmark, lingering stealth aura increased from 10 to 30 seconds. Yo! I didn't know about this change. This was a new change. Wait, what is exactly the description of this? Does it only stealth Musafari warriors and gunners, or every unit? It's only Musafari gunners and warriors, right? Every infantry? Or only Musafari? Okay, we're getting split answers in the chat. I need to test exactly what this means. 10 to 30 seconds. Oh, that is a massive buff. That is a massive buff. But that also means that now there's an actual incentive for you to... There's an actual incentive for you to build your Age 4 landmark, like on the way to your opponent, like in the middle here, or even in your base where your production is. So you might be like building production like this kind of thing if you're gonna rally units into the opponent or something. So let's build that while we do other stuff. Farimba Garrison landmark train speed decreased by 10%. Archer Donzo Musafari Warrior train time increased from 22 to 24. Javelin Thrower increased from 33 to 37. And Musafari Gunner 52 to 57. Damn! Griot Bara landmark. Festival durations increased from 30 to 60 seconds. Festival cooldown decreased from 60 to 30. Ooh, that's kind of wild. Wait, what? Wait, I have a question. Right now in the live patch, festival lasts 30 seconds. And the cooldown was 60 seconds after the festival ends, right? Which means that... Right, okay. Now it's 30 seconds. That's fucking short. Infantry, okay, infantry units near the landmark enter for stealth for 10 seconds. Musafari warriors and gunners gain first strike. Okay, so only gunners and Musafari warriors gain the first strike ability, which is deal bonus damage. But basically, when you leave this area, from here on out, the stealth will last 30 seconds. That's pretty wild. This might have use, because if you build, this landmark here, right, between you and your opponent, and you send like 30 Musafari warriors from here to the left, the opponent's not gonna see them until they're here, unless they have towers, which you can destroy with the first wave, and then you can keep resending. Yeah, so maybe this is gonna be good. Maybe. Maybe. The Griot Bara one? So for those that don't know, Griot Bara landmark has increases production speed by like, is it 50%? For 30 seconds? That's gonna be 50% for 50% to 60 seconds. The second one, it increases siege damage by, I don't fucking know, 50% or 100%. So you can actually spam Malian scouts in the late game and you can use them as fire lancers. But now with it lasting 60 seconds, it's 100% more damage for siege. Okay. For siege and torches. So now you can actually snipe stuff. like a lot easier. And the cooldown is 30 seconds. That's the insane part. And then the last one is increases your food gathering rate. No, you cannot have 2 festivals at the same time. The cooldown starts when the festival ends. So it lasts 60 seconds. After 60 seconds, you need to wait 30 seconds to activate another one. I mean, to be fair, this landmark sucks. And even with this, I'm trying to think, where would I use this? Like, I would use this in team games, right? I would use this in 2v2, 3v3, 4v4 probably. For the torch damage, mass scout. But in one-on-one, it's like, when do you ever need to use the food? I mean, yeah, sometimes you'll need to use the food, festival. But it's not that useful. Like, on paper it sounds insane, but it's not that useful. It costs 300 gold, by the way, which is not a lot for late game. The siege one is interesting. The military one, I mean, again, if you're imp, you probably have a shit ton of military production, right? It's not like you're playing with 2 production buildings. So you probably already have 20, 30, 40 production buildings. So do you need more military production? I don't know. So the only time I ever see this being used is just for torch damage in Age 4 and like team games. Maybe in some situations in one-on-one, but I think in one-on-one the Fort of the Hunters is probably gonna be better. We will see. Yeah, the festival should work with the cows in the landmark. Banco repairs. Effect reduced from 100 plus 100% to 50% repair speed. Research time reduced from 60 to 30. Okay, for those that don't know, this upgrade was one of the most broken things in the game, but it's not used a lot because Malian doesn't get to that stage in the game. I can't remember the exact number. It's either, I think it's like 6 workers. So basically, 6 workers with this upgrade could out-repair like 3 trebuchets. Which is insane. I think it was 6 or 8, but I think it's 6 workers. Which is insane. So basically, if you attack like Fort of the Huntress, if Malian puts like 10-15 workers, you can't kill it. Like, it's just not happening. 2 workers counter the trap, yeah. Like, it's just not happening. You cannot kill it. You could out-repair like 6 bombards or something with like 10-15 workers. It's insane. But Malian wasn't really played at that point in the game, like at that stage, because it's not good in the late game, but it's definitely a really, really fucking strong thing. Alright, Mongols. People asking where's Malian nerfs. I mean, this is a nerf. This is a buff to the useless landmark, and this is a buff to the useless landmark. Malian Age 4 landmarks are very bad, guys. And also this is a nerf, so they got 2 nerfs, and they got 2 buffs for the most useless stuff. But I do think that Malian need Imperial buff. Like, all memes aside, I don't even know what they need. And when I was talking to devs, I actually told them, like, I genuinely don't know what Malians need in Imperial. Because I feel like they should be a good civ, but they're just not in Imperial. Like, they have culverins, which usually civs who have culverins are really good. But they're just not good. Like, most civs just completely trash them in the late game. Mongol. Fixed an issue where the Khan scouting falcon would sometimes spawn in the center of the map. Oh yeah, I saw State reporting this. Khan's weapon gain +1 bonus versus deer, wolves, boar. We have done it. We have done it. And now Khan will 2-shot deer. You know how I play Mongol versus Rus now? I just don't even shoot at the deer with Khan. I just skip it. Because by the time you kill it, he's gonna take the whole map. So that's nice. This allows Khan to 2-shot deer, which is important, yada yada. Okay, poggers. I mean, that's a good change. I mean, honestly, so far, all these are good. Well, the China ones... okay, this I do not like. And I think Palace Guard should be nerfed more. And I think Grenadier should be toned down by at least 1 or 2 damage. At least. This, I don't know what the initial damage was. The Delhi ones, I like the changes. The English one, thumbs up. Love to see it. The Malian one, I mean, thumbs up. I don't... These landmarks are still probably gonna suck, the H4 landmarks, but sure. Khan, love it. Ottoman. Now, this is the one that is... Let's see it. So I've tested this great bombarding placement. You guys, if you saw the video or if you saw it live, they are fucking pumping. Now they just increased the cost from 250 gold 400 stone to 250 gold 500 stone. Damn. The thing is, this is a lot. So you need 800 for keep and 500 stone for the upgrade. But the thing is, it does so much damage. You cannot engage under Ottoman keep with this upgrade. Like, you just cannot. Like, this shit does so much damage that you have to, like, treb it down or something. Yeah, I think it's still worth it. Obviously, you're not going to upgrade every single keep with Great Bombard upgrade, but the crucial ones, if you upgrade it, that shit slaps. Sipahi health reduced from 160 to 155, so they got reduced by 5 and then 10 health. I mean, Sipahi are really good. Like, I've said when I was testing them, they are fucking insane at raiding. Like, they have the long range, and I think they're just good. Swapped Advanced Academy and Fast Training back to their original position, the Vizier panel. Oh, yeah. So, in PUP, for whatever reason, 2 of the bottom left and bottom right Vizier points were swapped. So, I guess they just fixed that. Fixed the bug where Janissary health was 130 instead of the intended 95. This was PUP only issue. Okay. And Rus Hunting Cabin. Ooh, I didn't know about this change. Build speed decreased from 40 to 25 seconds? Oof, that's rough. That is rough for the non-Rus players. That means they're going to be able to get more hunt. Which is already a monka. Yeah, I don't know about this change. I'm not sure why it was made, actually. But, alright, I guess buff to Rus. I mean, this is a pretty big buff. You're going to have a second scout 15 seconds faster. Well, that's if you make a hunting cabin with 1 villager. Kremlin Landmark no longer gains a ticket upon completion. The first ticket gains after 1 minute. This is good. Okay, gremlins are fucking stupid. I actually don't mind gremlins being used aggressively, but what's annoying is they rush the gremlin and then they send 2 gremlins to your stone. So it's like you need to make units against their non-units, basically. So I like this change. Rus has been seeing a lot of popularity on land maps, by the way. So this was pretty annoying. You can skip TC Scout now. The meta has already been to skip TC Scout with Rus. You just built a hunting cabin really fast and then make scouts out of that. Militia Scout is, time is too long. I mean, I think with this, I think the biggest issue was the first 2 militia that spawn immediately. Like, they can cause so much trouble on the other side of the map, and they're really not a big investment. They're just like little food and that's it, and it caused a lot of problem for the opponent. So this might not seem like a lot, but this is quite a big change, and I think it's a good change. And then we got Wooden Fortress health reduced from 2,000 to 1,750. I don't know if you guys remember, but long time ago, when towers got HP nerf, you guys remember that? That was long time ago. Well, for some reason, Wooden Fortress HP never got nerfed. So this is not even a nerf as much as it's, you know, making it more in line with the other civs. Because I think this was well over 6 months ago, maybe even like 9 months ago. No, it was like 9 months ago. 10 months. All the towers received a health nerf, but Rus Fortress towers just didn't. So they stayed on 2k health, which is fucking insane. They're so hard to kill. So I think Wooden Fortress still has less range. I don't think that's true. I don't know about that. But I'm not sure. So anyway, overall I think it's fine-tunes, changes. Oh, this is a spicy one. Dude, this is probably the most controversial comment. Outpost, blah, blah, blah. Oh, shit. I don't know if I really like the change. Why do we have to limit player options this way? I understand that it's annoying for newer players, but otherwise it shouldn't be an issue, correct? He got downvoted to hell. This isn't a newer player issue. It's an issue, period. If they barbecue on top of your TC, it's basically impossible to make a new vills without them being damaged a little bit. And regardless of skill, what are you supposed to do? Stop them from building? Okay, then how do you take down 10 villagers before they build? Kill with vills? Not fast enough. A scout? Lol. Dark Age Spearman? Still not fast enough. This has 14 points. This comment is upvoted. I just wanna say that. So it will come up. Okay, can we get the clip again? Now listen, if this guy said people in lower league struggle against it, I agree. But this guy's making it look like this is an unstoppable thing. It's not possible to stop it. There's no chance to stop this. If it's coming, that's it. Let's count the villagers together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 villagers, okay? So he said that 10 villagers are unstoppable, okay? So by this logic, 15 villagers are no way, right? So he said stopping with villagers? Okay, let's see it. Let's skip through a bit. Hmm. 10 villagers? Impossible. How do you take down 10 villagers before they build? You literally just attack it. That's it. I mean, he's right. You didn't stop it. You know what's funny? If they build it in division... Okay, yeah, he's right. It didn't go up. So, if you build it in the vision of TC, if you just garrison your villagers, it will melt down the villagers' building. I don't think that's fair because you're one of the best in the world. Most of us can't do that. You can't pull the villagers and A-click. Well, then we should nerf French Knights and Spearmen because you can't fight with them either. So we should nerf them too. Again, if he said people in lower leagues struggle against it, sure, I get it. I even said when I read the patch change, if people struggle against your lower leagues, I don't care. It doesn't affect Conqueror players, right? But this guy is making it seem like it's just impossible to stop, which is just wrong and spreading bullshit. That's it. Massive resource denial with no cost but aging up. Bro, he's pulling 10 villagers across the map. What do you mean no cost? What do you mean no cost? Do you know how resource gathering works? You're moving 10 villagers across the map and you're losing like half of them. How is it no cost? Oh my god. I can't. Next. I'm surprised I don't see Keshik buff. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of discussion I've seen on Reddit that Keshik sucks and is the worst unit. I scrolled, no Keshik changes. Like, people apparently think that Keshik is the worst unit in the new patch. Which I find very bizarre, because out of all the new units, I would say Keshik fits the Mongol the best out of all the new units added to any of the civs, and they're probably second best after the Delhi one. After Ghazi Raiders, I would probably say their second best unit being added. But everyone's saying they're trash. Like, I've seen like at least 3 or 4 posts saying that Keshik sucks and they lose to everything, and it's like, well, yeah, you're not supposed to fight them like against knights. You know what I mean? That's not what they do. Yeah. I mean, that's what the people do. They mass Keshiks and they think they're gonna kill French knights, you know. So yeah, overall, I think it's good changes. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, there's still a month, maybe. Yeah, Keshiks are insane at raiding. I mean, they're like horsemen, but they're armored, you know. Anyway, there's another news that I just want to update you guys on. Stormgate closed testing update. We'd like to share some exciting news about our plans for closed testing. Our closed testing period will kick off this July with a very small pre-alpha phase rolling into a slightly larger alpha phase and followed up by a larger beta phase. If you sign up for closed beta, you're also eligible to participate in the earlier testing phases. The very first closed testing invites will be going out soon to a small group of signups for those July testing sessions, with more waves of testers added over time and well into 2024. I love this GIF. Stormgate beta is coming. Or alpha, I guess. Now, I know people are going to ask me, so I'm just addressing it here. Am I going to play alpha? If I get invited, sure. I would love to. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Hopefully going to play beta as well. Yeah, pre-alpha, yeah. But even if I am able to play it in July, I doubt I'll be able to record videos. Because it's probably going to be not shareable, right? So, that's exciting news. That's earlier than I thought. I thought the testing would begin like September, October. But I guess it's only like in a month and a bit. Month and a half, pretty much. So, yeah. Just wanted to give you guys an update on that. Yeah, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little update preview. Barbican is no longer unbeatable. There's no counter to it right now, as we know. The science has not figured out what the counter is. But in the next patch, you will simply not be able to place it anywhere because it was unbeatable. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. Check me out on Twitch. You're probably live right now. If you're watching this on Twitch, let's keep going.